Hello and welcome back to another tier list video. Today I'm ranking to see what I predict to be the best and worst race of the 2022 Formula 1 season. And before we do that, I have all of the circuits here which are expected to race, including Russia, but we'll not rank that. But what you might ask, what are the tiers? Well, the lowest is boring as Spa, which, if you don't know, is from last year where they raced like 2 laps behind the safety car. So I mean, was it basically a race? Then we have okay, decent, quite interesting, very interesting, and bonkers. And what I mean by that is that the race will be very, very interesting and quite bonkers. So now, let's start with the first circuit in this list, which is Bahrain, the season opener. I believe this one could be decent because, well, I'm not sure, but I feel like all of the F1 teams, they are going to have testing and everything there, so they might have all the data so they get good lap, but that's the first time we will see where everybody is, so I think that will be quite interesting to see. Then we come on to Baku. I believe this one could be very interesting with the new cars, because this one we can really see if they can really follow, because if they can follow in the last sector where it's a very quick section, then it will be very interesting to see how good the cars will be at following each other, as I said, and overtaking, which will be quite interesting. Then we're going to Barcelona. Normally a very boring race, but I think it would be okay, because I don't believe it will be super boring, but it won't be like decent because of all of the F1 teams have the data and everything. But it could be interesting if the porpoising issue is still happening. And if you don't know, that means that the car goes up and down quite quickly. You can watch F1 tech videos on it, it's quite interesting. Then you have Circuit of the Americas, the second American Grand Prix after Miami. But this one, last year, I remember Verstappen won, I believe, but it was quite interesting because Hamilton fell behind a little bit and had to catch up. And if they are able to follow, as I said before with Baku, in the quicker sections, it could be quite decent actually. Then we go to Miami. We have nothing to know about this except that it has a really long straight or flat out section of, I think it's over 2 kilometers, I'm not sure. But from what we have seen, I don't know if it will be. Oh, it could be here, around here, but I believe because no F1 teams have data on it, and because top speed will be a thing, I think it could be decent, because it will be interesting here if like Leclerc or Sainz screw up in qualifying, because they're reportedly having the best engine in terms of power. They might be able to be very quick out here and just boom, go very quickly. And then we're going to Hungary, which last year was Bottas's bowling alley, but this year, well, it's, as I say, it's, what's it called, it's Monaco without the barriers. And as Monaco, it would be down here, but I have a feeling this might be okay, because I feel like the circuit might get quite a bit of help with this new car, so maybe not just Hamilton and Alonso will have a lot of fighting during the race. Then Imola, it always does quite interesting. Maybe Albon doesn't spin this time, but I think it'll be better than these two, and I think it'll be better than these. So I put it here, but I believe It'll be less boring than this, and then I'll fix everything like at the end. But then we go on to Interlagos, the Brazilian Grand Prix, which might happen because of a sinkhole underneath the circuit, which hopefully gets fixed. But otherwise, it's a very good circuit. Hamilton got disqualified from qualifying for the sprint race, and then he went up to 5th, went down to 10th, I believe it was, and then he won the race. Quite controversially, you can say, but I would think it will be quite, and yeah, I believe it will be very interesting, because I feel like also it has quite slow sections and also very quick, so making a car which can follow very well through here, I believe will be very good. And now we go on to Saudi Arabia, one of the most controversial races of the season, second to what everybody knows, but I believe this will be okay. I believe, yeah, I think it will be there, because as last year, it wasn't the thing which made the race interesting was controversy. It wasn't like the circuit being a good circuit. It was crashing. That was basically it. So I'm gonna put it in okay, but I'll still believe it'll be better than these two, because they might be better at following each other, as the main theme of these things are. Then we go on to to the Melbourne Grand Prix around, I forgot the circuit's name, but this one they have quite a bit of widening, which means that the circuit will be quite a lot quicker, and it always is quite decent too, quite interesting. So I think I'm gonna put it here, or maybe here, no, here, because even though Melbourne Grand Prix may be quite more interesting as a circuit than Imola, I'm not saying better, maybe better racing, but due to the weather changes which can happen in Imola compared to Melbourne, I believe Melbourne is a bit worse. Then we go on to the Mexican Grand Prix, where top speed will be a huge theme of this race, and there we have one. I think it'll be a bit here, because last year it was okay, but if you look at like Lewis Hamilton, he had a really boring race because he was in no man's land, because he was slower than Verstappen, but he was quicker than Perez, so he was staying like 20 seconds behind Verstappen, but 10-15 seconds in front of Perez. He was a bit in no man's land. Then we're going to Monaco, as normally. I would put it down here, because as said before, qualifying is the most interesting, but now, as said before, like Hungary, I don't think it'll be that fun to watch, but since it's Monaco, it'll have to be on the list of Grand Prix circuits. Then we go on to Canada, to Montreal, no, I was going to say Charles de Gaulle, but that's the airport of Paris, so don't know why. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is what it's called, yes, but I don't have fully remember what happened last time, but from what I know from 2011, 2007 and all of those times, it could be quite good. But now what happened? Oh, there it is. But I think it will be decent, and I think it will be maybe here, because I think it will be, no, maybe here, because I think, yeah, these two will be good because nobody knows and nobody knows. The pecking order and telemetry, that is. Then we come to Imola. No, Monza, where controversy happened again with Verstappen and Hamilton, which was quite common last year. And otherwise, it's quite a nice circuit, and due to high speed last year, it was quite hard for racing for the cars to follow each other during the high speed sections very closely. So I think this will also be better with the ground effect cars. So it might be up here. Yeah, because Imola slipstream is very effective. Slipstream might not be as big of a thing now, but because the cars can follow each other, it might be easier to overtake. Then we got the Paul Ricard, which used to have boring races except last year, and it might be even more interesting than last year, this year. So last year I believe it was quite interesting, so I'm gonna put it in quite interesting, and I believe it could be better than Imola. I think there. And then we go to Spielberg, and as we know, Spielberg, it's quite fast flowing, quite short lap times, but also brings sometimes a little bit of drama. So I'm gonna believe it, put it behind, I'm gonna put it here, because I think it could be decent, but it could also be okay, quite interesting. It could be like any of these. Then we go to Silverstone, which is one of my favorite circuits. Will be interesting to see how it will be this year after what happened last year, but still it was very fun to see, so I believe be very interesting, but I think it'll be better than Interlagos, but not as good as Baku. Look at the Singapore, another street circuit, where I may not put it as boring as Spa, because it usually brings interesting things, because the roads are wider than Monaco's, and it's quite a fast twisty circuit. So I'm gonna put it in quite interesting, but I believe it will be about there. I believe it could be better, but these two could exchange places. I don't know. The Russia Grand Prix, boring as Spa because it's not going to happen. That's easy thing to put on there. That's Spa. If it doesn't rain, I believe it could actually be bonkers. Because of, as we have seen with the high speed corners, I believe with the new arrangements, it will be safer. But with the layout and everything, I believe it could actually be very good for the new cars, because they might be able to push and go a lot quicker, and with the cars being able to follow each other easier, they might be able to follow each other easier up Eau Rouge and overtake. Then we go to Suzuka, which always is quite an interesting circuit, and it might bring Gung Racing. So I think I'm gonna put it up there in very interesting, because it's a very good circuit. It used to be, I believe, Honda's test track. Don't fully remember, but anything can happen there, as we've seen. Then Abu Dhabi, it always is quite boring, but it's always better than Monaco, even though drama happens. If you know, you know. And then we go on to Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix, but the thing is here, the circuit last year, it's quite fun to drive in the F1 game, but the actual circuit is not the best. I believe the atmosphere made the race actually fun, but otherwise it wasn't the best to watch. I'm gonna put it okay, but at the top there. So now I've put all of them up here, so let me see if there's anything we need to change. So let's go from boring to bonkers. So Sochi will be the least interesting because it won't happen. Then Monaco, yeah, Yas Marina, Hungary, Barcelona, Jeddah, Zandvoort. Yeah, I believe that's quite interesting. Yeah, good. And then we have Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, I believe it is. Then Gilles, Spielberg, Miami Hard Rock Circuit, it might be called. Monza, Sakir. I've forgotten the name of this circuit. How can I forget? I always thinking of Baffles and Panorama, but it's got Lake something. My brain doesn't want to work. But then we have Imola, then Singapore, then Paul Ricard, Kota, Interlagos, Suzuka, Silverstone, Baku, Spa. Yeah, I believe this is good. And if you have any comments on my tier list, comment it down below if you want, if you would change anything, or if you believe I am completely wrong. And once you're done there, please hit the like button and subscribe, because if you subscribe, that motivates me to make even better videos than these high quality videos I have right now. But until my next video, which will be next video, we will see what happens. But until then, I've been Racing Pleasure, you've been my amazing guest. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.